Hey everybody, today we have a Crusadermon tourney report where I played in the Nightmare Coliseum and got second place. And so we're going to go over my deck, why I made some choices, and how the overall tournament went. So, to kick us off, we have 4 Pikmon and 1 Koromon. The reason why we play Pikmon over Koromon is because Pikmon is much easier to proc than Koromon because, as you can see in this list, we have very little self-burn. So we play for that instead of the Koromon, which does rely on the self-burn. Next, we have 3 Bushi Agumon. Originally, I was running 4, but I felt sometimes it was a little bit too cloggy, so we cut it down to 3 because it is still a viable win con. Next up, we have Lucemon. Lucemon is the big hyped card, really expensive in Japan as of right now. I think it's like 50 or so like that. It's on play heal 1, it's a 10k body, it's really, really powerful. However, in the sake of our deck, it's actually one of the weaker targets to call off the Crusadermon because of how strong our other targets are. Next up, we have 2 Kotemon. Kotemon is important because he allows you to search your Nightmons and your Crusadermons, but I found that oftentimes we would end up bot decking really important cards or just not hit anything at all. Like, for example, we'd bot deck Blinding Lights, we'd bot deck Slash Angemons, we'd bot deck Bushis. So because of that, I didn't want to play it too much because the on-play is mandatory. Thus, we only play 2 because we can't cut it completely. Sometimes we do need to find it, but we're playing 2 so we don't overexert ourselves. Next, 4 Starmon. Starmon is phenomenal. Like, phenomenal. This card is insane. It's able to kill so much with so little investment. -1 DP to a Digimon for every mon you have, and Crusadermon just vomits a board. It's so good. Play 4. Mandatory. Not even a question. Next up, we have 3 Pulsemon. Pulsemon is fairly difficult to obtain because you can only get it from the Vital Bracelet, and I understand that, but for this tournament, we have access to everything. Pulsemon serves as either a draw 1 or a 2-cost rookie, or in the case you're on 3 memory, it does both. If you're looking to play this deck and you don't have access to Pulsemon, there's so many replacements in yellow, it's not even funny. You can play the 4th copy of Bushi, you can play more ST Patamon, more Kotemon, Tsukaimon, BTC Salamon. There's just so many options that it's not even funny. Yellow is so versatile in that department. Next, we play 2 ST Patamon. I was really so-so on this Patamon. I could live with or without it. The only reason I played it is because there are certain memory thresholds that you were able to do really cool stuff. For example, if it would push you over to 6 memory, then you can go Slash Digivolve from like Crusader Digivolve, swing, call Knight, Digivolve Slash, and then not pass turn. And that is like super crazy. Like insane, really. Alright? But it's sometimes it feels a little bit more win more, so you can live without it as well. It's there because I just wanted to test a little bit of the limits. And it came up quite a bit in the tournament, especially versus Diaboromon, because the tokens were so easy to pop. Following up our champion lineup, we have 4 Charymon because cheap evolution is cheap. 4 Pidomon. We play Pido over Uni as the majority because 1 cost evolution is significant in this deck because our top end is so powerful. So we value top end over the 1k difference, which, by the way, does matter a lot. Next up, we have 1 of Gladymon. I really think Gladymon is a trap. I think this card is really bad, but you have to play it because sometimes you just need another target to call off a Crusadermon. So we play 1. Oftentimes, Gladymon's gonna whiff because TK most likely did his job already. So Gladymon, I can live without it, but it's okay. We play 2 Unimon because basically all of Yellow's level 4s are pretty awful. There's only a few good ones. Unimon is an extra blocker. It dodges Shoutmon, it dodges Nidhogg. We take it for what it is. Our ultimate lineup is a lot more interesting. So a lot of people want to play Angelwomon, and the reason why we don't play Angelwomon is because Crusadermon does not self-burn, unlike Wargreymon. Wargreymon burned himself for 1 in order to restand and get another swing off. Crusadermon doesn't have that luxury, and thus, if we wanted to run Angelwomon, we'd have to run other cards that would compromise the integrity of the build, such as Lopmon or such. Even with Blinding Light, I felt that it wasn't enough, and so we play 2 Antilomon, because with Antilomon, we can go from Rookie, assuming we have TK set up, so we're at 3, we can go 1 cost, 2 cost, and then Crusader, all in the same turn. If it was a 3 cost ultimate, we would pass turn on the ultimate, and it would feel super bad value-wise. So, we play the 2 Antilomon. Next up, we have 3 War Growlmon. War Growlmon is insane. This card is crazy good. -4k DP for Digiburst during main phase is amazing. This card is fantastic. It makes Slash plus War Growl kill any 12k. Great card. Next, we play 4 Nightmon. Nightmon is the optimal call target off of Crusadermon. It's capable of going -4 and then Digivolve into Slash for -12. For -12. Really good. It's also another call target off of Kotemon and Gladymon. So, well, not call target, but search target rather. So it just adds a lot of consistency to the deck. Now, our Mega lineup, we play 3 Slash and 4 Crusader. The reason why we play more Crusader over Slash is because even if we get Slash, the deck doesn't do anything without Crusader. Versus if we have Crusader but no Slash, we can still play the game. So that is why I went for a 4-3 ratio. The Slash is such a phenomenal card. I honestly think this card should get hit to 1, just like Green did with HPD and Argomon level 5. But nonetheless, while it's still, legal, we're going to play the hell out of it. So Slash is insane. Finally, we played 2 Chaosmon. Chaosmon is really, really good, and specifically against the Omnimon matchups. Omnimon X is a thing now. It can sometimes be a pain in the ass to remove because we can't swing at it directly. So with Chaosmon, we're able to take care of that target really easy. Finally, we play 3 Blinding Light. This card is really, really insane. It turns any 1 memory you have into 3, and then you can go Crusader and not pass a turn. Phenomenal. This card also works if you are at 0 security, so in the late game, it is super, super clutch. And then we have 2 TK. TK is pretty self-explanatory. A lot of your cards cost 3, so playing TK allows you to not pass a turn. It's a really good setup. The reason why we play more Blinding Light over TK is because of Defeat. Defeat is a really, really powerful card in my opinion. Defeat would destroy TK and thus hinder a lot of our deck's plays, so we play more Blinding Light over TK for that specific reason, but also because TK is a little bit slow, so in the mirror matchup, it actually hurts you quite a bit because you have to invest a turn playing that, whereas Blinding Light is immediate value. Now, in terms of, if we wanted to do a tier list, your best call targets for Crusadermon, in my opinion, Tier A, Nightmon, Starmons, and Bushis. Amazing, phenomenal. I'm never upset by calling any of those 3. Tier 2 is like Pulsemon, Lucemon, right? Lucemon is a heal, it's nice. It doesn't exactly advance board state though, and Pulsemon is hit or miss. Sometimes it's phenomenal. If it gets the draw plus memory, it's like a Tier A call, but on average, you're only getting one or the other, so it's more so a Tier B. And then Kotemon is like a Tier C, in my opinion, because it's consistency, I guess. Glademon's also a Tier C, because Glademon doesn't really accomplish anything. I mean, he dodges Digivolve, which is pretty significant, but other than that, he's like, eh. And what I faced. So we faced double Diaboromon. Diaboromon is really interesting. So round 1, we played into Armageddonmon. They actually didn't play the Armageddonmon. We managed to kill them before then because Crusadermon is so fast. We easily took care of their tokens. Really, really good. Going on to round 2, Yellow War Greymon. Actually, this was a bit scuffed. I was really scared of the War Greymon, but luckily Crusader is slightly more fast. Well, I wouldn't say faster per se, because they cost about the same, but Crusader has much more of a high impact on the turn you go into it, because you get an extra body, versus War Greymon doing a pop and double swing. So, because of that, we were able to speed into it. Round 3 rather, Blue Omni OTK was really, really scared of this matchup. He had a lot of pressure. He played the White Tamer, the Matt Tai. Because of that, I had to hide in Raising to not allow him to get enough memory, and then we just bid our time until we were able to swing for game in one go. Semifinals, we played Diaboromon once again. Luckily, we didn't hit Ultimate Flare in the security, so everything was good, because again, we can pop the tokens without any difficulty. And then finals, we played against the Mirror matchup, and surprisingly, actually optimized this list to beat Crusadermon Mirrors. But my opponent also played the things that I used to beat Crusadermon Mirrors in his list, so it was pretty even. Game 1 he bricked, Game 2 I bricked, and then Game 3 I misplayed and managed to throw the game completely, which is entirely on me, but nonetheless, I'm really, really satisfied with this deck. I think this deck is arguably the best deck in the format. Maybe something else comes and uprises it, but overall, I think this deck is phenomenal and really, really good for anyone wanting to get into BT5. Yellow, good investment. Thanks guys for watching, and hopefully you guys stick around for our next video. Thank you.